The Reverend Lieutenant Colonel Carmen Frank Riviello Sr., retired United States Army Nurse Corps, last stood about 5'3" on his size 8.5 feet. The buffeting winds of age and care had eroded a full 3 inches from his height, but not an atom from his wit. As a boy in the Lackawanna coal country of northeastern Pennsylvania, he walked the train tracks, collecting lumps of anthracite fallen from the cargo of passing trains, which carried the black nuggets his father helped mine from the Paleozoic seams to the furnaces of the pre-rust steel belt. Each lump was added to his sack until he returned home to add it to the coal cellar to supplement the family's supply for the stove. In the same way, he had trod the path of life, collecting the memories that make up a lifetime until it came time to shrug off his burden at 1500, the 25th of May, 2011, a week and a half before the 80th celebration of his birth on June 4th, 1931. And this is what is left, a deep and dense trove of memories, left for us all to mine and add to our own collections, to help keep us warm through the rest of our days. The last, freshly hewn nugget of memory he collected was surely one of kisses and hugs, prayers and whispered worries, and the tender touches amidst the joyful noise of his family enjoying each other's company, even in that grim moment. The conversation and tempered laughter halted, as his labored breath did. Below it lay 1,000 craggy memories of sad days watching his precious wife Nancy's slow decline, punctuated by joy, amusement, and pride of days spent with his great-grandson Gavin. A reach below the surface brings up a day of his retirement vocation, meeting the spiritual needs of others at the First Baptist Church of Schertz and Brooke Army Medical Center. Then, visiting with his close neighbor Robert Woody Woodfork. Another has him sharing his faith from the high plains of Floydada, Texas, to the seacoast of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and another still preaching the gospel as an associate pastor at Hayes Hills Baptist Church in Buda, Texas. Deeper yet, there are memories of his days treating college students at Southwest Texas State University. The birth of his youngest grandchild, now a newly minted marketer, Shanna, his Contessa, is not much deeper down, nor is that of his pinecone, Gavin's mother, vocational nursing student Rochelle. The skilled and inquisitive Sean, whom he nicknamed Snag, was born on his birthday in 1983. University of Houston business student Thomas, or Big Tom, arrived only a few months earlier. University of Texas mathematician Claire, his princess, came along in 1981. The adventurous Christine, who is truly rotten, was his first granddaughter. Russell, whose subscription to National Geographic started before he was born, answered to George and made him a grandfather they would all call Papa. Almost halfway down, there is a memory of his first career, before his retirement from the U.S. Army at Fort Bliss, El Paso. In one of the final moves of his globe-trotting service to his fellow citizens, he moved his family from his previous post in Augsburg, Germany, to Fort Dix, New Jersey, where he put to use his skill for healing, this time cooling the fever of racial strife which plagued the Army in those tense times. A little deeper and a world away, his tour of duty in Vietnam is a heavy and dark lump of time away from his family, a burden which he was nonetheless proud to carry. That family was made complete only inches further down, when his youngest daughter Corrine was born while he was stationed in Hawaii, just weeks before it became the 50th state and a few months after the death of his beloved mother, Ida. Another level holds the arrival of his first daughter, Pontia, while at Fort Ord, California. Down below, the memory of his third entry into the Korean-era Army as a second lieutenant, and under his second drafting as a corpsman, is a memory made in his time as a civilian, the day he became a father with the birth of Carmen Jr. In the same era, across the nation, were born those who his children would marry, and whom he would hold in his heart as dear as they, Russell, Kathleen, and Beverly. Sitting next to each other, only a quarter of the way from the bottom, are memories from a momentous month in his young life. The worn and treasured recollection of his wedding day, when his love for Nancy Jean was solemnized into a bond which spanned the earth in 57 happy years, to be parted only by nature, sits cheek by jowl with the memory of the day not 2 weeks later when his country first called him to serve. The loss of his father, Francisco, when Carmen was 13, is a stone far too deep by any measure. But as the youngest of 9 siblings, he was not without others to show him the way, and to keep him on it. The pattern of his foundational gravel of childhood nearly fuses into a mosaic of life as a child of immigrants, comprising memories of his differences, memories of the high expectations that come with being born in the land of the free, memories which he was sure to pass on to each of his descendants. Deep in this matrix of days and routines is a small cabochon, told and retold, of a walk down the tracks, which is picked out and dusted off and made into something new.